media. So you'll see Thais saying, we have fighter jets and you don't, and Cambodians saying, oh yeah, well you stole most of your culture from us, we invented the sport that you call Muay Thai and your traditional style of dance and so on. So that's what the hotheads on social media are saying to define the narrative. I think regular people, especially in Cambodia, want to see this resolved so they can get back to trading goods and feeding their kids. Most people are not full of this hatred.
So this border closure, it's a big deal. Is there a concern that it will escalate into something even worse?
There is, and very recently, tonight, Thailand's defense minister said that they should be prepared for just that. It's probably unlikely, it's not impossible, especially if you count small skirmishes as war. That's actually already happened. Last month there was a 10-minute shootout that left a Cambodian soldier dead, and then both sides pulled back. I think there's a couple more steps on the escalation ladder before we get to a full-on war. Thailand's prime minister has already hinted that if this goes in a worse direction, she could cut off oil and gas to Cambodia, and that is about a third of Cambodia's energy. So that would be a crippling, perhaps existential blow. So the other fear is that with tempers running high, there's a misunderstanding on the border and another clash kicks off by accident. And so, yeah, things are pretty tense.
Patrick, switching gears for a second, while we've got you on the line, there are two headlines that caught our eye and we wanted to ask you about, both about drug trafficking in Southeast Asia, which is something you follow closely. First, officials in the UK say they've been seeing a lot more drug smuggling from Thailand, specifically suitcases full of marijuana over the last year or more. Do you know what is going on there?
Well, Thailand for the last 3 years has had this freewheeling legal atmosphere towards weed. There's more than 10,000 weed stores that have opened up legally. They're everywhere. I've got 3 shops right on my street.
Wow.
And cannabis is really cheap here. So there's financial incentives for a British traveler to load up on weed and take it back to London and resell it for a much, much higher price. It's actually shocking how many people do this. We're talking dozens of tons of weed per year are going on commercial flights from Bangkok to London. So yeah, the UK is very annoyed at Thailand for not reining this in. At the same time, there have been certain Thai politicians trying and failing to rein it in on this side, and finally this pressure from the UK seems to have tipped the scales. So as of this week, everyone buying weed in Thailand is supposed to show a doctor's note. How do I put this? Laws on vice are not always perfectly enforced in Thailand, so let's see how obedient the zillions of weed stores are about demanding to see that prescription.
I hear a healthy dose of skepticism in that answer.
Yep.
And then finally, Patrick, Mia